mind, it's okay. Off your mind,
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, Maiyegun don't come. Him go torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun diary politico, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. This one not the off in mind, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. And in the touchlight every corner, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get it higher power over naira. See them talk say make we off mind, but thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you loud, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun diary politico, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. This one not they off in mind, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Maiyegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Maiyegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you loud, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make you shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses.
Oh, Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Hello there. You're welcome to Maiyegun's Diary Political tonight. It's been quite a while on Maiyegun's Diary Political YouTube. So it's a pleasure to be back again. And thank you for joining me. So this is Maiyegun live. And as we always do, remember, before we get deeper into the conversation, you can please subscribe if you are yet to do that. So thank you very much. I'm taking my time with that. I'm thinking that we should be getting to 20,000 followers or subscribers by the end of 2020. Are you going to help me to get there? Sure. So all you need to do is that you should subscribe, then copy the link, right? And share that with your friends from every on every platform that you are very, very active. That will be really, really appreciated. So thank you for joining me. So tonight, I'm going to take you through what I have been following in Nigeria in the last 48 hours. A lot has happened, but we will pick them one by one as time permits us this evening. So, and then I will also let you know how much that, one way or the other, affects you, and that you also have a role to play in whatever capacity that you find yourself, in this struggle. You have a role to play. And one of the role is to let you know that the government cannot be trusted on anything. Do not give it a shot. Do not try to give them what is called a chance. Do not. You will regret it, because it is the government. they lie to you, and they have to lie again to cover another lie. And as the NSAS protest seems to be taking another dimension, and people are now contemplating on starting NSAS 2, that is second wave. We don't know when that is going to happen, and we are all kind of looking forward to it. But would Nigerians have the opportunity of ever protesting again? With Buhari and his goons allows the young people to express themselves again? Are the promises made by Boko Haram and his team and all the social media influencers that they have paid, to continue to try to change the narrative of what happened during the NSAS protest? Our government sponsored terrorists, our government sponsored thugs, our government and the police decided to go after peaceful protesters, shooting at them until they killed many of them. So we are going to review that. You know the truth. You know that what led to the NSAS protest, the police brutality and good welfare for policemen in Nigeria, they haven't really met anything on that. Met anything on that. They promised to review, they promised to, prosecute those who have perpetrated all these criminalities, all these crimes against Nigerians in the police force. So they have managed to scuttle that as well. Trust is the issue. People are beginning to now talk about 2023. I don't know how it is going to play out anymore when it comes to what people need. So how far can the frustration really go for people to begin to say enough? We are not going to have it anymore. But I don't know. But we have instances that shows that people have, one way or the other, they have refused to learn from their own experiences, which are now becoming the current decimal, as they say. Yesterday, the news came that terrorists attacked a village, a town in Kaduna, and they killed the head of that community. Also, news came that terrorists, bandits, as they would love to call them, terrorists took over Abuja Kaduna expressway, that they killed over 10 people and kidnapped another 12. Among those kidnapped, 8 of them are students of Ahmadu Bello University in Zaria, Kaduna. The police didn't make any statement on that. The president of the country didn't say anything on that. And the media seems to just be dancing around with the news. And like many other news, we wait for another one until the next one. So, however, there are something that needs to really, really bother you. And that thing is that as we speak right now, the Nigerian military, the Nigerian soldiers under the Nigerian army, led by Buratai the Butcher, they are busy committing genocide in Rivers State. They are busy committing genocide in the eastern part of the country. As you are watching me right now, people are being run out of their town, their homes. People are being taken away that no one knows where they are taking them. Okay, while the northern part of the country, born and boys, right? Just a few days ago, the news came that the bandits who kidnapped undisclosed numbers of people from Katsina. Katsina State is where Buhari comes from. Okay, so they kidnapped. They kidnapped women, kidnapped young girls, and they took them away for a few days, raped them until their parents and their families raised the money to free them. When they now freed them, the government of Katsina decided to probably throw a party on that in a way. Okay. Meanwhile, there are many, many others who are still very much in captivities as we speak right now. Okay. So I asked myself that what is their priority? Is their priority really to save lives or to safeguard Buhari from, the crime they have committed in his name? Nigerians have been killed needlessly. People have been arrested, including this young man, Eromosele, the guy that was arrested by luring his sister to a motor park in Ikeja, lying to her that they had a package for their dad, who happened to be a pastor, in order for them to get at a brother. And they finally arrested him. There was no court charges. There was no court warrant. There was no court order. They just walked in and picked him up. And since then, for the past 1 week, they have moved him from, city to city. They took him to Abuja. They flew him back to Lagos. They tried him in Lagos today. He appeared in court today and he got free. And you ask yourself, the security agents in Nigeria, under the control and the rulership of Buhari, what is their priority? You, as a Nigerian, okay, you ask yourself, what is their priority? In the time of pandemic, where people are losing their jobs, people are, sort of losing their means of livelihood and all that, where governments all over the world are working in a way to help cushion the effect of COVID-19 pandemic. In Nigeria, they were busy planning on how to, in fact, make the life a hell, further hell for an average Nigerian. And this doesn't even have anything to do with you being APC, PDP, or Christian, or a Muslim, or wherever you are affected one way or the other. If it is the insecurity, it doesn't really spare you that you are a Christian or a Muslim, a Northerner or a Southerner. You feel it differently, right? Economically, they have waged war too. What is the economic war they waged on you? Remember where they started from. 13.5 million people were officially unemployed when they came to power. Okay, officially. Now, 5 years after being in power, we now have over 30 million people who are now officially unemployed. There were those that are in the categories of underemployment. You see, some of you who currently work the job of 10,000 naira a month, 20,000 naira a month, 30,000 naira a month, you are not different from, and if that is the only work you have, you are not different from those considered as underemployed. That means you can't really meet your normal daily requirements. You can't meet your monthly requirements. You can't pay your rent and still feed well. You can't, really, because you have to provide most of these things: education for your children, healthcare for your family, even security, water. All this have to be provided by you. So how do you want to cope with that? Even though you pretend to have a job, but you are not different from those who don't have job in a way. So they classify you as underemployed. Now, those who are in the categories of category of underemployment in 2015, they put them around 30 million. Today, that number has doubled, and they are even thanking God. They will say, well, I thank God I still have something doing. Thanking God for having something doing is the reason why you cannot really find a common ground on, a common agreement that says they waged economy war on you. How did they do that? Your money was devalued. Naira was devalued from 190 naira to $1 in 2015 to today's over 500 naira to $1. What does that tell you? It means that your country that is independent, that is importation dependent, right, will rely more, will spend more on getting goods down to Nigeria, and that to you, the end users, will pay for that. And you're already paying for that. Food inflation in Nigeria is now 17%. When they came to power, it was around 4%. Now they have added 13% to that. I'm not an economist, so I'd rather just put it to you better, in my own better layman understanding, to let you understand how this affects people. Okay, fine, you may not even be living in Nigeria, but tell me, in the past 5 years, can you confess, can you be honest and say the amount of request, financial request, support from your family members, friends, even those random people you meet on social media, tell me that the amount of requests from those people in the last 5 years hasn't quadrupled. I'm not even going to say double. From your family members, people who were able to feed themselves in 2015 under that arrangement of Nigeria go better, in 2015. Today, they have turned to beggars. Many of them are now dependent on people who they never thought they would ask for help 5 years ago. This is the effect. They crush the naira, okay? They didn't create any wealth. They plundered everything as they came in. The debt of Nigeria jumped from 13.5 billion to over $30 billion now, as we have it today. What they have added, the overall debt of Nigeria jumped from around 60 billion to what is now over 100 billion. All they do is to budget. They have no money. Look at 2021 budget. If you review that very well, you will think they have plan to tackle the poverty that they have, they have created and nurtured. Okay, when you look at 2021 budget, for example, right, they want to spend 13.5 billion, 13.5 trillion naira. Okay, from that 13.5 trillion naira their budget that they want to spend for 2021, they don't even have the money. They have a projected revenue generation, which is for them to squeeze you further. Okay, it doesn't even look like Nigeria is selling oil anymore. It is more or less like nobody is buying the oil. In a way, I have to confess, because what they rely on more now is just how to increase the tax. They increased the VAT from 3.5%. 3%. They met it. They increased it to 5%. Now they have increased it to 7.5%. Okay, what does that tell you? It means that everything you are buying, everything, including the sachet water that you are buying, the Cerelac, the baby nappy that you need to buy, including that your electricity bill, and everything you pay for that you have to pay the value-added tax, the VAT on, those things have now increased by more than 60%. So when you look at the food you are buying, why did the food go up? Because everything, inflation. And as we even have it right now, inflation in Nigeria currently stands at 14.8%. People are saying it is more than that, because if you say when the inflation in Nigeria was at 13%, people were buying a bag of rice for 22,000 naira, 25,000 naira per bag. Yeah. So if you say now that people are buying a bag of rice for over 35,000 naira to 40,000 naira a bag, how can you say that is just a 1% or 1.8% increase in inflation? Things don't go south. Coronavirus has caused more damages, but your politicians are not helping matter. In 2021 budget, out of 13.5 trillion they budgeted, they are planning to generate revenue from you. They are planning to generate 7.5 trillion. Now they need 6 trillion to balance that up. From that, that means they have to borrow 6 trillion naira in 2021 before they can perform or do anything, before they can construct road, before they can construct hospitals, schools, before they can pay teachers, before they can pay workers, before they can fulfill all their commitments. They will need to borrow more money, 6 trillion in 2021. Meanwhile, in the 2021 budget, the 13.5 trillion naira they have budgeted, which they don't have the money, they don't have it. Okay, so they are projecting what they are going to get from you, and they are projecting what they are going to borrow outside. But from that money, you will think, at least with what they have seen after the palliative, warehouses where people out of poverty, hunger, broke into those places to cut away the food politicians deliberately locked away. After that experience, you will think they have learned something, that when they are putting together a budget, they will cut down on what goes to them and they will put more on what goes to the people. So this will help at least improve and help those who are from the who are currently who found themselves in that poverty circle. They can be lifted out. But no, in the 2021 budget, their plan is to spend 3.3 trillion naira to finance budget. Debt servicing. What does that mean? That simply means that from 2021 budget of 13.5 trillion, Nigeria is going to spend 3.3 trillion naira to service debt, not to pay back debt, service. Okay, that is to say, we will pay you, borrow us more, take this one, we will be paying this back. It's like paying interest, but you are not paying the debt. So they will spend 3.3 trillion on that. They also budgeted 5.5 trillion naira for as recurrent expenditures. What is recurrent expenditures? These are what goes into paying for different salaries of different board. Many of the board parastatals that they are duplicate, triplicate of what a ministry should be. These staffs that don't even have a clue about why they are in public offices, created to fill in people who just get access to free money. So they want to spend 5.5 trillion on that. They will be able to buy more diapers for Buhari. They will be able to buy more Mary Kay for Aisha. They will be able to buy more kind of new makeup as well for Sarah Buhari. And the rest of them will be able to also possibly build more palaces. All his ministers will be able to have more money to build more palaces for their wives because they are rich anyway before they join politics. They are only trying to help the poor. And guess what? Out of 13.5 trillion naira budgeted for 2021, remember, they don't have the money. So don't think they have that money. They want to waste it away. No, they don't have it. But they have already planned how to waste whatever they get, as well as whatever they can borrow. They already planned it. So who budgets money for something you want when you don't have the money? How can you sit down and plan to go and borrow money that you are going to spend on your own luxurious life of luxury? 11 presidential jets will collect part of the money. Aso Rock Clinic, the one that they have spent over 11 billion naira since they came to power, but they cannot produce one syringe or one face mask inside Aso Rock Clinic. That too will collect money. Aisha's kitchen, that never really cook. I don't know what they do in that kitchen. We also collect money. Buhari and Oshibajo, today we spend over 2 billion naira to feed for 1 year inside that budget. Our National Assembly members are going to get their own share, and every other cars they need for 2021, any latest and all of that. All of these are put together in a country that has no money to feed their people with what they have done so far. While they are putting all of that together, they've also increased the price of petroleum. Think about that. In the time of pandemic, where businesses are folding up, where people are losing their jobs, where you can't even tell if you're on lockdown or lock up or in prison with what politicians comes up with every day, then you ask yourself, when are Nigerians are really going to get tired? Genuinely, collectively. For insecurity, the news is still very much the same. Nothing has really changed. Rather than change, they are getting worse. Okay, 12 policemen, police officers of the Nigerian police force, police officers, they were kidnapped on their way to Zamfara. They are on a mission. Imagine 12 policemen on a mission. They were sent by government on a mission, and bandits kidnapped them. So you ask yourself, even the police right now, they are yet, you know what I mean now? They are yet to admit it. And you ask yourself, are these not their personnel? So if they can deny their personnel, what makes you feel surprised whenever they deny the obvious crime they commit openly? 12 policemen. The president of the country is not even talking about it. No one is talking about it except the media, juggling it around. Eh? The killings in Kaduna continues unabated. The news we are now receiving from other part of the country is that bandits are now collecting taxes. Bandits are collecting taxes. So you remember during Goodluck Jonathan, when Boko Haram were collecting taxes in 5 local governments in Borno, you remember, before the 2015 election. And the whole world reacted like, eh? You remember when Boko Haram created their caliphate in Borno? When Boko Haram, when Goodluck Jonathan was the president, remember? Eventually, the Nigerian army were under Goodluck Jonathan was able to keep them and send them away. That even during the election in 2015, they were able to conduct election in those local governments. In 2015, in 2019, out of about 30 or so local governments in Borno State, they were able to conduct elections in just 2 to 3 local governments, especially the Maiduguri, the state capital, where many local governments are now housed because some of their villages have been taken over by either bandits, Boko Haram, or ISWAP. Then you ask yourself, where is the rage? When the northern leaders were bitter, when they publicly showed that they were sad that Boko Haram terrorists were able to recruit their children into terrorism, and that Boko Haram was in fact being sponsored by people in Goodluck Jonathan's government, you remember? So the northern leaders, including the Pantami, that one that is doing press up now and showing other northern leaders, his northern brothers, how to do aerobics and exercise during the lockdown, whatever that even mean, I don't know. Pantami, we later found out that the current Minister of Communication and Digital Economy, they call it, I don't even know what that means, Minister of Communication and Digital Economy, a former jihadist called Pantami. Pantami was actually in the same Quranic school with Muhammad Yusuf, the founder of Boko Haram, the one that the police killed extrajudicially way back in 2008 or thereabouts. You remember Muhammad Yusuf, the founder of Boko Haram? He was in the same Quranic school with the current Minister of Communication and Digital Economy, or digital whatever. That is Pantami. So Pantami was the same cleric. I don't know if you remember the video that was reciting Quran and crying over Boko Haram attack on civilians and the northern part of Nigeria. And he said, Goodluck Jonathan, and many of them agreed that Goodluck Jonathan and PDP were using Boko Haram to reduce the population of the north. You remember all of this? But maybe if you don't remember, good enough. That's a good reminder. So I've reminded you now. Okay. Anyway, fast forward to 5 years later. The Boko Haram that they said were killing northerners, and PDP of Jonathan was the one sponsoring them. The Boko Haram has now opened branches. They even have communication outlets or group called Maiyegun General. So Maiyegun General is the media organ of Boko Haram. Buhari is the political organ. APC is the political organ of Boko Haram. You know what happened? After 5 years of their APC, the northern leaders, the northern cleric leaders, the northern Islamic leaders, all the northern sultan and emirs, they are no longer crying openly anymore. You know what? Because Boko Haram is no longer the only problem they have. Okay, they now have other branches now, which are really each branch of Boko Haram is very, very viable and rich. So today they have ISWAP, Islamic State of West Africa, pilgrims or whatever. I don't know what that is. ISWAP, they call them. Okay, they now have Fulani terrorists from Chad, Mali, Niger, Sudan, Libya, and all those places. So they are now in Nigeria. They are so powerful that these people that they told us were people from Libya, Chad, and all those places. When they started killing people, then you remember when they started invading villages and they turned Benue State to killing field. You remember? They became so powerful that the vice president, that is fake pastor Oshibade, was very much eager to legalize them by giving them what is called Ruga. And that was how Ikene Shatabandu, fake pastor Ruga, became Pastor Ruga on Maiyegun's Diary Political. So that is another organ of Boko Haram that became so stronger and stronger and powerful politically and militarily under Buhari. They are not just killing northerners. They are not just killing Muslims and all that. They are not just killing Christians. They are killing the young, the old, the vulnerable. And they are taking over lands, villages where they have ransacked. They are taking over those places and renaming them. But Nigerian government is very much working overtime to protect them. That wasn't the case. Remember, that wasn't the case in 2015 before they came to power. Fulani terrorists were not in thing, remember? But it was when they came in. So they opened the branch of Boko Haram. And those who have encountered the Fulani terrorists, how they operate, have come back. Eyewitnesses have told the whole world how these Fulani terrorists operate. They now go about with AK-49, more powerful than AK-47. So they go about with AK-49, and the way they are coordinated, they don't look like the normal Fulani axeman that you will see or that people were used to. They now very much look more like an armed terrorist. The way they coordinate their attack, they are more like people who are like trained soldiers. They are not just ragtag Fulani axemen anymore. They are now armed to the teeth. So that's the difference. So from eyewitnesses, people have reported that in many places, before attacks were carried out, they will sight either the Nigerian army helicopters dropping something in the bush and flying back. And between that afternoon and the following afternoon, there are likely going to be coordinated attacks in all these villages. And all of these things are going on. People have just somehow grown numb to the news. You know, when they say 12 people kidnapped, people will say, hey, they have kidnapped them again. This northern big part of Nigeria. When they say 27 people killed, they will say, hey, they have killed 27 people again. Again, imagine, this Nigeria. So people have grown numb to the news and the reality that we are talking about human beings who are being sacrificed, slaughtered, more like coordinated state attack. And the government of Nigeria, for once, the government of Nigeria, this is where the conspiracy theory doesn't really look conspiracy anymore. It's looking real. This is where people like us continue to tell you that you cannot continue to give excuses on their behalf, trying to justify every action they make by saying, oh yeah, they are right to go after armless, peaceful protesters, while terrorists runs amok. They are able to trace and arrest protesters. They are unable to trace those who have burned down buildings, who have burned down and killed people. They have been unable to do that. Crime continue unabated. Criminals continue to grow in strength and strength and strength in the northern part of the country. And an average northerner is more concerned about Buhari's continuation as the president, or the mirage, the lie of them being in control of power. And you ask yourself, what is the use of power if the power cannot save your people? If the power cannot protect them, if the power cannot save them from ruins, everyday ruin that they experience since this government came to power. So you ask yourself that. That's the reason why I'm talking to you. This is why I'm actually saying that even if you have not become a victim yet, do you actually want to wait till you become a victim? Well, maybe you don't know that you are already a victim. I'm going to let you know further, but let us continue. The government of Nigeria is here to arrest and prosecute one single person responsible for the banditry, for the Fulani invasion and terrorism, for all those Boko Haram terrorists. They have been unable, they have refused to bring any single person or group of people to book. But within 2 weeks, they have been able to freeze the account of citizens who are asking the government to stop police brutality. They have been able to freeze their account. They have been able to stop them from leaving the country. They have been able to also arrest many of them. And they have been able to lock many up right now. But they have been unable to find just one single person responsible for all this insecurity in the northern part of the country. Iraq just sentenced about 12 people to death for terrorism recently. Again, Mali just sentenced another 7 people to death for terrorism, for supporting Boko Haram, or arrested for terrorism. Nigeria is, meanwhile, Dubai, United Arab Emirates, convicted first. They found 5 Nigerians, all right, who are northerners, who are Muslims, by the way, who are supposed to also listen or follow the dictate of Allah, which is meant to be peace, Abi. From the faraway Dubai, they were able to transfer over $780,000 to Nigeria, to Boko Haram in Nigeria, who have continued to kill and kill. They even kill and kidnap policemen, kill and kidnap soldiers. You know what I'm talking about? But Nigeria, where these things are happening, Nigeria is unable to present one single person responsible for what is going on. So what does that tell you? It tells you that the power is useless when it cannot protect all of you who actually believes in it. The power is useless. The power is useless when, after you control the presidency, you control the CBN, you control everything that should be able to pit you and take you out of poverty. Millions of people they fell into poverty in the past 5 years because of the economic jihad they waged on you, economic war. And this does not even spare you that because you are a Muslim, you are safe. We have it in the news. The police will confirm that. 12 policemen kidnapped. And the Nigerian police won't say anything about it. They will tell you it is fake news, right? 12 people killed in Kaduna. 12 people killed. A leader in Kaduna's a village in Kaduna was killed. His son was butchered to death, right? But here we go. They are very much interested in stopping. Buhari said he is never going to allow another NSAS protest to happen in Nigeria. But guess what? Buhari is not alone. There are people who believe that there should never be any other protest again against Buhari.
If there's going to be any protest, you should go and wait for 2023. Some of them don't even know that if they are going to make it up to 2023 with what they have done. You don't know if you're going to make it up to that time. 170 naira per liter of petrol. That sounds like a your Christmas gift to me. That's to tell you that, well, you will have the petrol, okay? But if you can buy the petrol and drink it, that is fine. It doesn't really matter. But you will have to find out how you are going to really survive the December, the Christmas, and how you are going to survive the 2021 that they are planning. And even if you get so mad, frustrated, to the point that you want to express yourself, that will land you in jail. There are many things they have in stock for you and for the people of Nigeria in 2021. One of them is that all of you living outside Nigeria, we, the diasporans, let me tell you something to prepare for in 2021. So if you are going to plan how to change your number, you better start planning it now. And at the same time, maybe you start planning on how to deactivate your social media. Nigeria is going to witness the worst of the worst recession in 2021. The economy is going to face a serious strangulation that I don't know if the second wave is not going to be called End SARS. Maybe it's going to be called End Nigeria. And these are the reasons. In 2021, more people are going to need your help. Yes, they are going to need your help to survive Buhari's 2021. Because, number one, they don't have any money, okay, to execute any plan. And in order for them to be able to do anything, they will need to go borrowing. And when they go borrowing, they will give them more conditions on how to further devalue the naira. And in the process of devaluing the naira, things will go further up and up. Even though they know how to wind you, they know how to tickle you, to tickle your mumu button. I'm talking to those who are in Nigeria now. I'm coming back to those of you in diaspora, because the effects of all of that, all of you will be ready to bear that on social media from your family members. More people are going to plan to leave Nigeria, and all these pressures are going to come towards many of you, including myself. And I'm preparing for it. And God help people. Okay? May God help. And may they help themselves too. So what will happen is that they will go borrowing more. They plan to borrow at least from what the finance minister told the press. She said, for them to be able to maybe complete any of those projects, like your railway project, like your electricity project, which they've been telling you every year how they are going to complete them. But you are still going to wait, don't worry. But they will need to borrow more. Okay. Many states will need to also borrow more. And when I say borrow more, before they can do anything, they will need to borrow. Yes. And borrowing more means your naira will continue to crash. And as much as the naira continue to crash, it will continue to dictate what you buy, starting from your petrol. They have told you that they have removed subsidy. This is the third time they are removing subsidy. So now that they said they have removed it, that means you can buy petrol from between 162 naira and 220 naira. Yes, be prepared, okay? For now, you may get the petrol price for 168 naira or 162 naira, and so on and so forth. But where you are really going is going to be 220 naira per liter. When that happens, your dollar, which is fluctuating right now, jumping from 470 to a dollar to 515 naira to a dollar. So that fluctuation will continue. But at the end of the day, they will manage to put your dollar at that time in 2021. They will manage to peg it somewhere around between 450 naira to a dollar and 470 naira to a dollar. So when they do that, so every importation, now they have given Dangote the right. Only Dangote is allowed to use your border now, as they say. And we are talking about the southern border, okay? So only Dangote is allowed to use that to take things, to bring things into Nigeria or to take things out of Nigeria. If you have to enjoy that privilege, you will need to pally Dangote Group. Well, the monopoly they want to give to him is refinery will likely come upstream in 2021. So by the time his refinery will come upstream and become functional, by then the Nigerian criminals, they would have succeeded, okay, in pegging the petroleum price somewhere around 200 or 220 naira. So that's where you buy it. So you will not have the guts to ask them, now that you are refining locally, that maybe the price should drop. But they are telling you that that's what will happen, but it's not what will happen. That is not even the foundation of the problem, okay? Now, borrowing, like I said, they will continue to give them more conditions to devalue the naira. Nigeria depends on importation. People brings in, they have to bring many things in to augment even the rice that they told you that they are producing in Nigeria. This now has become a big lie, because what they didn't tell you is that as they were promising you that shutting the border of Nigeria was to allow the local farmers of rice and other produce to be able to sell. And when they are able to sell, everything will become cheaper. That was what they told you, remember? But they didn't tell you that those farmers are never going to go to the farms, okay? And if they manage to go to that farm, they will not be able to harvest their produce except they pay tax to bandits. They are not telling you that now. So when you go to the market and you can't find onions, you can't find, you are buying tomato, 3 tomato for 50 naira, 100 naira, or 200 naira. And you are finding that a bag of rice is now, even though they told you that they have banned importation of rice, but you still go to market and you still have to buy imported rice anyway. And you have to pay more, right, for a bag of rice. When you look at the changes in all of that to your life directly, then you understand the action of them going further to borrow money, to implement projects that they don't have any plan of implementing. Do you get that now? So the bottom line is that even when they finally borrow the money, there is no plan that they are investing that money they want to borrow into the economy. For example, you remember when Ibekachiku, the former Minister of State for Petroleum, told you that they were working to get their refineries working. Remember, he lied to you from 2015 to 2019. Even during the campaign, Ibekachiku was even telling you that about 5 refineries will start working from April 2019. Part of the lies they told you. But what they didn't tell you then was that as they were lying to you that they are working on building the refineries and fixing them, so that once they become working, you will not be buying petroleum for the price you are buying them today. What they didn't tell you was that they were also budgeting billions of dollars in refining them, or in in refurbishing the refineries. But today, the Nigerian refineries, all of the refineries in Nigeria put together, cannot refine 25 liters of petrol. Can you beat that? Just same way they told you they were investing in electricity. Fashola told you that it will take a responsible government with a good plan to make electricity in Nigeria 24 hours non-stop, stable within 6 months. And the reason why you didn't have electricity in Nigeria before APC was because the Batueyos were in charge, people without brains. Fashola has been the minister in charge of electricity, in charge of works, road, and all of that, in charge of housing. But do you know that in 5 years, the only thing Fashola was able to generate was darkness? And today, he is famous for the achievement. He is now known as the Minister of Darkness, Potholes, and Homelessness. That is his new portfolio. And he's still very much talking shite, even though he is now known as Inspector Fashola or Agent Fashola Holmes, the guy that found hidden camera at the crime scene of Lekki Toll Gate shooting. I can go on and on and on about their lies. So they couldn't generate anything for 5 years from their refineries and from their different electricity, and they call them power generation or power plants, for 5 years. So here you go. Security, which Buhari campaigned for, is failed. Economy that they also campaigned for, they have failed. Pastor Ruga has turned to motivational speaker, and he's turned to the apologies, and then the special advisor to Buhari on burial arrangement, condolences matters to the president. That's his new position, apart from his new title, which is the fake Pastor Ruga, Ikene Shatabandu. They campaigned on economy, but look at what they gave you. They promised you 3 million jobs every year, but they gave you, and that should have been 12 million jobs in 4 years. But in 4 years, do you know what they did? They added 17 million people to unemployment market. They added 30 million people to underemployment. They created N-Power. Yes, they gave you N-Power. That will give you 30,000 naira every month. But when you go to the market, you will not be able to buy a bag of rice with your 30,000 naira. They call it stipend just for 1 year. You will think it's a job. It's actually not a job. It was more or less like a freebie created for those who thought APC was indeed fighting poverty. They also created a ministry of disaster management, something poverty management, and all of that. They gave that ministry to the wife of the girlfriend of Buhari, that is Farouk Shadia. Farouk Shadia, who had no idea about how many people are actually hungry in the northern part of the country, where she doesn't even have an idea how many hungry Almajiri children are on the street of our own community. They gave her a ministry, the ministry created by Pastor Ruga. Remember, it was Ikene Shatabandu, Professor Pastor Ruga Oshubade. He was the one who created the ministry to start giving people 20,000 naira. He created ministry for trader money, ministry for market money, ministry for other freebies that at the end of the day were just election money. So when they finished the election, they kicked him out of that freebie, Father Christmas ministry. They decided to create a ministry and put Buhari's girlfriend there. Shadia turned around after 2019 election. Coronavirus came. Shadia said she shared over 500 billion naira to 11.2 million households within just 5 days. Pastor Ruga was busy flying everywhere, even crashed his own hired chopper in Kogi. Now God save him, but he still went ahead to share the money that he was there to share for election that time in Kogi. So last, Shadia learned from the best. She came out and said, coronavirus, so we have shared how much? 500 billion naira to 11.5 million household, meaning they paid 22 million people 20,000 naira within 5 days, cash, and there is no real account for them. So think about that. So they were unable to lift the economy. Buhari turned around and he said they are planning to lift 100 million people out of poverty. You know wrong. Do you not know that it is the opposite? 100 million of you are going to join poverty. Today, the population of Nigeria is put at plus or minus 210 million. I know that is a fake figure, by the way, but just know that that is the figure an average politician will use, the figure, and their media houses will use. So if I use the figure, I can use it to at least help you in this illustration I'm making, or this analysis. So let's say Nigeria population is 210 million. From that 210 million, Nigeria is now poverty capital of the world. The World Bank put it, in fact, the Nigerian Bureau of Statistics put it at, they said, totally now, over 86 million Nigerians have now completely confirmed to be in extreme poverty. Extreme poverty is that, you know that if you have to start thinking how your next rent is going to be paid, how you are going to pay the school fees of your next school fees of your children, how you are going to find money to pay for the hospital bill of your son or of your family member, how you are going to even feed. If you have gotten to a stage where you have to think about how the next meal, where is it going to come from, Baba, you are a poor person. Let me tell you another one that some people don't understand is actually poverty. Today, some of you, you provide your own electricity, you provide your own water, you provide your own security, you provide your own housing, you provide the education for your children, you provide your own health care for yourself. Some people don't get money to go hospital. They are using Opayin, Alomo, and Jedi to keep fit. And some people are actually eating healthy in order not to fall sick, even though malaria day, so many other things stay that are going to make you sick anyway. Okay, so all of these things are poverty. If you live in a country where you cannot enjoy 24 hours electricity, you are living in poverty. That is why many people are surviving. In that survivor mentality, that is why they are saying, Baba, we are thanking God. You are thanking God because you are living in poverty. But to you, you are still better past your neighbor. Okay? You provide your own electricity by buying your own generator that continue to pollute your hair, continue to shorten your life. Well, it is Nigeria. Now God get your life. Or die, now die. Because you have been conditioned to take that. I understand. But by the world standard, by the standard of proper living, if you cannot have access to healthcare when you are sick, then you are living in poverty. If you cannot have access to good modern amenities, for example, good electricity that gives you 24 hours electricity to keep the economy running, you are living in poverty. So if you cannot feel safe in your own, in your own home, that you believe that anyone can break your door anytime and anything can happen, you can get kidnapped and all that, you are living in poverty. Okay. Now, if you are living where you cannot speak your mind, where free speech is regulated, where whatever you say can land you in jail or can get you killed, you are living in poverty. Some of you will say, I reject it in Jesus' name. Then that is how you understand that this has nothing to do with Jesus' name. It has nothing to do with Astagfirullah or Allahu Akbar and all that. No. It is the reality. And if you think very well, you will understand where they came about the data that says Nigeria is the poverty capital of the world. We now have over 128 million people living in poverty. The rest of you are only trying to survive through it. Even your government are only trying to manage it. They are not doing anything to invest in the people, invest in the country, and break the chain of that poverty, lift people out of it. So when Buhari said he was going to lift 100 million people out of poverty, he was actually telling you that 100 million of you are still going to join the poverty with what they are going on, with what they are doing. Why won't you? Many people who are farmers, they don't need much. They have their land. They can cultivate their land. They are struggling through the chronic system put together by the government of Nigeria, the criminals in Nigeria, but yet safety has now eluded them. They can no longer feel safe on their farms. This is not just about the northern part of the country anymore. It is now all over the country. We have had cases where, Fulani terrorists attack people on their farms, clashes happened, but we never get to hear from the Fulani terrorists arrested or anyone arrested at all, other than the people that try to stand up for themselves, just like the NSAS protesters. So people are not going to their farms, even though they are lying to you that they are still producing this or that. They are not. People have been sent away from farms. Nigeria can no longer feed herself. Nigeria closed the border for over 1 year now. Buhari closed the border, southern border, and including even those who are like the legit businessmen who are using the West African trade route, which Nigeria is part of. Nigeria signed the treaty of this the free trade zone, the free trade within the West African countries. Nigeria shut a border. All Nigerians who are trading outside the border, they are now facing xenophobic attack from other West African countries where they are because of the action of their government. Many of them have actually lost their businesses today because Buhari shut the border for 1 year. Just last week, he decided to open the border for Dangote and Bao or BUA, whatever that guy is called. Both allowed to move all their containers, move their goods in and out of Nigeria unhindered. They have been doing it for over a year anyway. But they now make it official, and the rest of the southern part of the country, we are looking. The leaders there are looking. They are waiting for 2023. And the collateral moves are also waiting for 2023. It's a shame. And when they asked the new Minister of State, the former governor of Bayelsa State, the former thief that was arrested for looting Bayelsa State money, he was accused of stealing over 10 billion naira of Bayelsa State money when he was governor of Bayelsa State. He joined APC, and like a magic, the government of Buhari, EFCC, under Maguluta King, EFCC returned all his properties, 181 houses. They confiscated from him. EFCC returned everything back to him. And he was even made a minister. He nearly became a governor the second time in Bayelsa State. But when he couldn't make that, then he became a Minister of State for Petroleum. He is the guy that replaced Ibeka Chukwu. Where is Ibeka Chukwu today? Where are all the refineries he promised? Where are all the big grammar he spoke and he gave, all the press releases that he gave for 4 years? Where is he now? He is gone. Listen to the new clown who is trying to tell you about the reason why you are going to pay more for electricity. You are going to pay more for fuel. Listen.
Today, the price of crude oil go up, then it means that the price of the feedstock has gone higher. It will also affect the price of the refined product. And that is why you see that product prices are usually not static. It depends on the price of crude oil, which goes up and down. That is why we say deregulate, so that as the price go up or down, you begin to go up and down as well at the pump. Before now, we fixed it, which was not optimal for us as a country. So we say, look, our earnings are not fixed because our earnings are dependent on crude oil price. If we fix it at this end, then it becomes unsustainable at some point. So let us keep it floating, so that if crude oil prices go up, then you will see a reflection of that. If crude oil prices go lower, you see a reflection of that at the pump. Now, what happened recently was because of the announcement of a vaccine for COVID by Pfizer. With that, crude oil prices went up a little bit. If you've been following crude oil prices, you would have seen that crude oil prices went up a little bit as a result of this announcement. So when crude oil prices go up a little bit, then you will see that instantly reflect on the price of petrol, which is a derivative of crude oil. So that is why you see that there is this movement, and if we listen to ourselves, this is the same explanation we've been given, that if crude oil, when the pump prices came down, we reduced the pump price because it reflected. We saw that crude oil prices were lower, so we reduced the pump price when we deregulated. Then when the crude oil prices went up, it went up. When it's coming down, it goes down. That's how it is.
Can you hear that? It is the same line. When the crude oil goes up, the price will go up. When the crude oil goes down, we reduce the price. I want you to pay attention. If you did pay attention to that, is usage of the verb we. Deregulation means the government doesn't have anything to do with the petroleum sector, including how the marketers fix the price. Deregulation means there is no subsidy. Since there is no subsidy, you cannot tell how much a marketer should sell is crude. Is petrol. Okay, that was what it should be. But you saw that. You heard that when he was using we, because they are lying to you. The subsidy they told you they've stopped paying, right? They are still very much taking that money, and that is why they are the one. They still jumping it up and down, doing that. Let me tell you why their new pump price goes up. The NNPC, Nigeria, they said their depot control decided to increase the fuel tank, the depot, how much you pay. So they have them. Do they call them tank farms or something? But I know they call them depot. Okay. Meaning, if you are a marketer who is bringing in petrol or diesel, so once your ship batch in Lagos, you will then get to transfer the content of that into that big tank. That's the depot. Okay, you transfer that there. So you will then be from there. You can start moving to all the other, to your branches or other people who wants to buy from you, you want to supply to, from Lagos to the east, to every part of the country and all of that. So while you hold your content at their depot, NNPC owns that, okay? So as you hold that at their depot, now they have increased how much those people pay. Normally, they have what they call landing cost. Landing cost is how much it took them to take the crude oil from Nigeria to abroad, refine it, then bring the petrol, diesel, and kerosene down to Nigeria. So they will put into consideration how much is the crude oil, how much is the transportation, how much did they pay to refine, then how much did it cost them to bring the petrol back. So when the petrol land in Nigeria, when the ship land, that is what is called landing cost. How much is everything in total? If you break it into liter, that's when they will now say, okay, we have 1 million liters. 1 million liters cost me this amount of money to refine and bring to Nigeria. Ship, everything. So now if I have to divide 1 million liter by naira and how much I can sell, I am going to sell each liter of petrol for 200 naira. Now, if I sell it for 200 naira as my landing cost, maybe, okay, I'm going to sell it for 202 naira per liter. So, and I have 1 million liters. Okay, I'm just putting that up as a figure now. So, 202 naira, I'm going to gain 2 naira. So, people will buy it for 202. But there will be other sub-marketers that can decide to sell their own for 202 naira, 50 kobo, because their own gain is going to be 50 kobo. I don't know if I'm making sense to those who are in the oil industry, because I know many of you who are watching me that understands how this works as well. So now, as a marketer who brought the oil to Nigeria, who brought back the refined products, you have the landing cost, how much you want to sell. So government will then say, hey, if you sell your litter, if you sell it for 202 naira, people are going to complain. Oh, okay, you know what? We will pay you 50 naira. We want you to sell it for 100 and how much? 170 naira or 152 naira. So we want you to sell your litter per 152 naira. We will be paying you 50 naira on each liter. So with your 1 million liter, multiply 1 million liter by 50 naira, we will pay you. That is what is called subsidy. For some of you who don't understand subsidy, by the way, I know some of you know what subsidy is, but I like putting it out this way. So when they now said they have deregulated the industry, what they practically meant by that is that they are no longer paying subsidy on the petrol. So now the marketer can decide how much he wants to sell. So if his landing cost is 160 naira, he may decide to sell it for 162 naira, 165 naira, 180 naira, 200 naira. It doesn't matter. That is what the regulation means, though it won't be that bad. It won't be that much. However, it is all lies. Okay? Because according to them, based on what this guy told us now, that simply means a landing cost of petrol right now in Nigeria, if I have to be honest to you, is currently pegged at 221 naira 40 kobo. Go and check it. That is the landing cost of petrol. But they told you, we have removed subsidy, don't worry. Because they are so cunning that it will take, I don't know if Nigeria will survive them. It will take maybe another 50 to 100 years to recover from the damages they have done. In this regard, what they have eaten, the cesspool of corruption that they have managed to bury, and they will not want that to see the light of the day. Social media is the only platform, is the only opposition that seems to be capable of exposing them. And they want to make law to stop social media from having that influence, because they will send all of us to jail and we will not be able to broadcast and tell the truth that they are hiding. So that you are buying the petrol for 168 naira, 170, 180, these are just like something called testing. Hello, testing. 2021 is when you are going to really experience it. Okay? When genuinely they will be stealing money for subsidy and you will still be buying fuel for over 200 naira. It is what is coming. And I want you to be prepared for that. Now, they are doing everything to stop people from grouping, coming together, deliberate on how they can get themselves, or at least save themselves from the shackles of this Buhari's government. Olatunji Babatunde, my brother, sir, thank you very much. I got your super sticker and I've seen your super chat. I can't even ignore that. It's so bright with the color of your super chat. And that is, I'm going to read the comment too. Maiyegun, our people way of reasoning is so different that they believe Jesus will one day come from heaven with angel to fight and free them from poverty. I believe many of them are learning now that there is no Jesus coming to save them from Buhari or from Nigeria. They will need to begin to understand that, standing up, continue to save and defend Nigeria is more or less like you doing everything possible to keep what will kill you. And I hope that we will get to a point that will get you on our side and you will begin to reason why it is the best thing to save lives in Nigeria. It is to break up in Nigeria. And someone told me and said, something I don't like about Maiyegun is that whenever he says, let us break up in Nigeria, we don't need to break up Nigeria, Baba. Calm down, okay? Because Nigeria hasn't really happened to you well enough. And if you are saying that because you are outside Nigeria, I understand too. Do you know I can choose to be a patriotic Nigerian too, from far away Glasgow. I can be telling people why they should be patient. I can be telling them that one day there will be electricity. I can be telling them that one day their hospitals will be working. I can continue to tell them that one day their education will be better. I can continue to lie to them and say, oh, don't worry, one day God is going to do it that all this Boko Haram will be a thing of the past. I will be lying to you. And if you become my friend because I'm saying that, it is just going to mean that I'm not your friend. Because it is very patriotic. You know, it's so good to be a patriotic Nigerian outside Nigeria. Yes, SARS is not going to harass you. If you are driving your new car, your beautiful sporty car, your expensive and latest machine, there's no SARS that is going to harass you. Okay? So you can be a patriotic Nigerian from America, a patriotic Nigerian from Canada, a patriotic Nigerian from London, or be a patriotic Nigerian from even South Africa. It's so easy. But I'm not going to be someone like that. So you don't need to agree with us. But I pray, if you are not yet in that category, I pray that Nigeria will not happen to you. If you meet our brothers and sisters that Nigeria has happened to, you will understand that if you love them, there's nothing truth about telling them that one APC is better than PDP, PDP is better than APC, this person will do it better and the rest of that. If you love them, sincerely speaking, which many of you are still going to agree with us as time goes on, okay? It doesn't matter. We will be patient with you. We will continue to remind you that you are going to agree with us that the only way to save people's lives, the only way to save Nigeria, is to please break it up. And I hope we'll get there. There's no fight. Don't worry. I will let you have your experience. Continue to have it. I pray that Nigeria will not happen to you before you realize it. And those that Nigeria somehow has happened to, I pray too from this temple of truth that you will find the courage to tell yourselves the truth. That whatever is going on with you right now, it is not because you are not smart enough. It is not because you are not religious enough. It is not because you are not hardworking enough. It is not simply because there is this village people after you. It is not because someone placed or put a curse on you. Okay? All those things are creation of what Nigeria has turned you into. It is Nigeria that happened to you. So it is so unfortunate that whoever tells you that there is another way out, there is a time coming, it go better, and the rest of that, anyone telling you that is not your friend. They are not being honest to you. And to you, my brothers and sisters living abroad, listen to this. I pray that Nigeria will not happen to you, okay, directly too. We have had many of you who fell for the scam that home sweet home. I have friends who return back to Nigeria because they don't believe that it is really that bad. They will tell you, it is not that bad. Even we know Nigeria is a blah, 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 blah. It is your adaptive mentality that is making you think it is not bad. But if they lock you up in Nigeria, if you get locked down there, that you can no longer get out, that you can no longer use this unlimited Wi-Fi, unlimited broadband, unlimited, everything unlimited, unlimited electricity, unlimited gas, unlimited this and that around you. Your children are getting access. They are having access to the best of the best that any country, any good democracy can provide for you. You are living in another country. You have peace of mind than when you are in Nigeria. The moment you can tell yourself this, the prayer you should be working on and what you should genuinely be working towards, genuinely, is to pray for Nigeria not to happen to you or to happen to someone you know. Your family members, people you know, your loved ones, your friends are on your neck. Nigerians are complaining that they can't breathe because their government is pressing their neck. You living outside Nigeria, some of you are currently, even because of the pressure from people you know, who are asking you for help, people you cannot deny to know. I'm talking about people you personally feel guilty that you have not replied their text, you have not returned their calls. You know why they are calling you. You know what they are going through. Nigeria is telling them that it's going to get better. But you are watching Maiyegun's diary. I have told you, repeatedly. It is going to get worse. How worse is what I don't know. Now, do you love them? Are you not under pressure too? Be honest to yourself. I mean, sincerely now, let's even agree that you love one Nigeria. And I keep saying, yeah, one Nigeria, one Nigeria. What kind of one Nigeria do you want? Have you asked yourself, does what they have currently represent the one Nigeria you want to see? Politically, economically, security-wise? Tell me, does what you see now represent the one Nigeria you love and you want to see together? And you keep asking yourself, or you keep telling yourself, we need to do something. We need to unite ourselves. And I ask you, from when you were young and to what you are now today, how long do you think it will take for a country that genuinely pursues justice and equality? How long do you think it takes for them to build unity? Do you see that in the horizon? Do you see that gray line? I mean, do you see that, the gray line in the dark cloud of Nigeria? Do you see the young people of Nigeria living their potential with the current set of a system put together for them? Is that the Nigeria you actually want? Or it is the military, the long-term military rule in Nigeria, the long-term military abuses, who have done so much abuse. They have wreaked so much abuses on us, on our psyches, that we considered the way of those criminals who are ruling you, their draconic, tyrannical way, dictatorial ways of leadership seems to actually be so much convenient for some of you. So ask yourself, even if you actually want a one Nigeria, is that the one Nigeria you want? The one that you can speak your mind? The one that people can get kidnapped, taken away? The one that will make the police to be peeing on them, pissing themselves because young people want to gather to discuss why their situation is like this? They actually sent their policemen to the African shrine where Seun Kuti was planning to have a conversation with other revolutionaries and young people to discuss their way of the way forward politically too. They sent their police there. They said they're going to shut down African shrine because of the meeting. They want to deal with Seun the way they dealt with Fela, his father. Many of you are already blaming him. Many of you are already supporting your oppressor. In 20 years' time, you will look back and say, just like many of you are looking back, 20 years, 30 years now, you are looking back at what Fela did, the song, the right of the speeches, the interviews that Fela gave to remind you that all of these things politicians are telling you are not in your interest. They will kill you and they will mock you and they will still blame you. So many of you called him a weed smoker. Some of your parents called Fela a drug addict. They blamed him. You didn't know that your government was actually the government of drug addicts. People who can't feel the pulse of their people. People who find peace in watching their people butchered, murdered, because they do it themselves too. Now, Seun Kuti is facing the same persecution his father faced. This seems to be the beginning, as the government of Buhari, the same one that arrested his father for money laundering, because Fela was traveling out of Nigeria with his band to London. They arrested him, and the 500 pounds they found on him, which was meant for his trip and his band, they said he was doing money laundering. Nigerian government accused him of money laundering, terrorism, and all of that, and they arrested him. You remember that? They did that to Fela. Not because he did anything wrong, it's because that is how you are being ruled. The same military mentality, the same brutish brutality. So that is what Buhari is doing. And that is what every criminal governor you have as well, that is what they are doing. So they actually send people to them. But mind you, they still managed to give a press report or a press briefing today from Seun Kuti. Watch this.
And to realize that leadership is in their own hands. Their future is in their own hands. The ideas that will liberate Nigerian people might not be on this table, but I want to guarantee you that this movement will be the movement to cultivate those minds, to cultivate those ideas, in the Pan-Africanist and socialist foundation. They had their own rally at Tafawa Balewa Square, only 80,000. The MOP one was 280,000, 200,000 more than the party that went on to win the election. So this is the rebirth of that movement, and the movement cannot survive without the support of the Nigerian professionals and the middle class. We have to do the work now to start to engage those of us in society that have been completely left behind, that have been overlooked. For this government to be able to say whether we are arguing today that somebody died in Lekki or not is because poor people in Nigeria are not recorded anywhere. All the animageria and beggars that migrate to Lagos, inside which data is their name. If they are the ones, because the people that call protests, everybody had left Lekki. Yes. It's not everybody that was in Lekki that had family. Yes. Most of the people there were these people that were waiting for something to happen in their life. They didn't even have a home to go to after coffee was called. So how are we sure? Who will come up for them if they are shot and killed? Who will ask? Who will even know? How many people die in Lagos when there is no protest? They will be on the road, dead body on the road for days. Nobody there to clean, nobody knows the person, nobody in the area even knows who is on the floor that is dead. So the excuses of our government, we see through all these kind of things. So it is these people that have been completely left behind, ignored and silenced in this country that we are here to speak for, that we are here to unite behind. You understand? This is not a movement that wants to do, that wants to carry the people along. No. This is the movement that is built with the people, that is built for the people, and will be run by the people. We want to be able to create a new Nigeria where there are no more special.
Look, listen to that. There was nothing like we are going to do this, we are going to fight, we're going to do this or that. Peaceful. But the government went after them. Why they sent their policemen to Lagos looking for Seun Kuti and other young people who came together? The bandits were busy killing and kidnapping people along Kaduna Abuja expressway, while their soldiers are shooting and killing people at Obigo in Rivers State. Bandits are busy threatening the lives of farmers in Zamfara, in Kaduna, in Katsina. The Zamfara story is even different. They are not telling you. You've heard about the Zamfara gold. Niger Delta oil is for Nigeria. Zamfara gold is for Zamfara people. Remember? Well, even Zamfara people are not getting the gold. They haven't told you. Zamfara, the people who are hunting for gold in Zamfara state, they are going from land to land, including from farm to farm. They will weed every farm away, and they will start digging until they find what they are looking for. It seems that before you know it, they will turn everywhere in Zamfara to Congo, Republic of Congo, where children will be slaving. Almajiri children will be sent to slave camp in Zamfara. You see those real farmers, it is either they are killed or they are harmed and sent away. They are not reporting that in the news right now as we speak. Okay, people are being kidnapped because of their farms, because they suspect that they have gold on their farm and they need to get rid of them. So when they get rid of them, okay, they will move in and they will start digging. So it is not just the government that is saying gold. There are Chinese there across Zamfara, the same way you have some of the Chinese in Osun State right now who are also looking for gold in every village in Osun right now. They are not telling you that. You won't read it in the news until when they say Amotekun arrested 35 people who are digging gold in Osun. But last, now waiting they won't make it here, you will hear. So Zamfara gold is actually for bandits. The government is managing to get some to showcase to Buhari so that they can collect artisanal money. There is a money put together. It's about 50 billion naira. Artisanal. I don't know what that means. Artisanal money. Artisanal is, it's artisanal as for the people who are digging, people who are finding mineral resources and helping. Buhari's government has budgeted money for them in 2021. So the Zamfara government needed to show to Buhari. Well, it was after they showed him the gold. You remember? After they showed him the gold of Zamfara, Buhari approved the money for them. Now, the governor, politician, just wanted to collect the money. In Zamfara, the reality is that bandits are digging. The real owners of the land in Zamfara, they have sent them away. People are now, go and read about it in the papers. They are not telling you that. Nigeria has become so lawless that even this criminal who publicly told you in 2015 that the Goodluck Jonathan's government that couldn't fight Boko Haram. Goodluck Jonathan's government is the Boko Haram. The federal government is the Boko Haram. I have a reminder. The same Buhari in 2014 said Jonathan and federal government of that time was Boko Haram. And there are still many Buhari didn't who believe that today that was Jonathan. And today, Jonathan is now the best friend of Buhari. They are now even planning to bring Jonathan back in APC in 2023. That is the joker that some people don't know yet. They said Umahi has decamped to APC, the governor of Ebonyi State. I told you a few times back that I was planning to defect to APC. Yesterday, I said that as well, that I was going to go back to APC. Today, he has met with Buhari. He has decamped to APC. But they have a joker to bring the same Jonathan that many people have been eating bitter leaf because of Jonathan. They have been eating bitter leaf since 2015. Today, Jonathan and Patience, his wife, they are best buddy to Buhari. But in 2015, Buhari said because Jonathan couldn't secure the north, federal government was Boko Haram. Let me play you this as a reminder.
The biggest Boko Haram is the federal government itself, because it has all the powers to stop anarchy, political and otherwise in the country. Now that a substantial part of the country has been paralyzed, economic activities have stopped, people are no longer thinking of employment, they are thinking of what to eat and how to survive the following day. So how can I...
So that was Buhari that publicly told his supporters that it is the federal government that is the Boko Haram. But now they are not going after Boko Haram, they are going after protesters. Boko Haram are getting freed by Buhari since he came to power. They have released over 5,000 repentant Boko Haram terrorists, including bandits. They have not prosecuted just one person in the last 5 years. They are planning to release another 550 of them in the next few days. So all of these portend to one thing, that there will be more killings, there will be more bloodbath. Terrorism is never going to go away. As much as they are not going to invest in the people, poverty is going to increase. And as they are so dead serious about punishing protesters, they are not doing anything to the terrorists. They are rather paying them money as we speak. Let me take you to Lagos. Before I take you to Lagos, this is how they arrested the NSAS protester, the guy that was finally freed today. He was granted bail today. But let me take you through his journey, a quick one for another few minutes, and his appearance in court today. That eventually, even though they have no case, they said because he protested, it's a part of NSAS protest, they lied to his family member in order for them to trace them so that they can get to him. This is what happened inside their house last week when the DSS or someone who presented himself as an officer from the office of the Commissioner of Police, Lagos State. Watch this when the arrest of this Eromosele was being effected. Watch.
I told you that I am. No, I also did not know. No, I'm not worried. Let me continue. I said there is no problem.
The instruction is that we should go with him. But I'm coming. No, wait now.
Okay, sir. I want you are going to effect an arrest, Abi?
Yes. No.
Yes. Okay. No, just hold on now.
Any suru.
Sir, may I know you, please? May I know you?
Yes, CSP.
Okay.
Hamzat is my name.
Okay, sir.
I am the OC Intelligence in Lagos State Police Command.
Okay, great.
We were sent by the Commissioner of Police on their response. We have, you have geolocated the person we are looking for in this house. We created a way of coming into this house. And now we are in this house. Let me just cut everything.
Okay, now
I'm coming.
Okay.
You, your humble self, and anybody you feel like coming, following. Okay. Madam, I have to be video recorded.
Okay. Sorry, sir.
So imagine someone walk into your house, you know, an evil-looking individual, and he wants to take your son away. And he said, his name is, you heard his name? They are there in the southern part of Nigeria, okay? And that is how they kidnap people. They take you away, and people will never see you again. But good enough, the guy they went to take happened to be a prominent a member of the NSAS campaign, and they kept it on record. So we started following. So there was a time they took him to Abuja. Then when they got to Abuja, they had no, they had no court to take him, because according to them, they lied in Abuja that they arrested him from the campaign ground. That is the video of them going to his house to arrest him just last week, weeks after NSAS protest ended. So they identified him through the videos, one of the videos, and they traced him down. They lied to his sister that they had the parcel for their father, who happened to be a pastor. So when the sister showed up, they arrested her, and they forced her to take them to their house. When they got to their house, that was what happened there, where he's introducing himself. There was no warrant. The said Commissioner of Police said they should invite him. But when they got to court, they told court that he was arrested during the protest. That's how terrible they are. But when they took him to Abuja, good enough, when they are now bringing him back from Abuja, this was caught on camera again.
What do you think?
I want to do no. Right now.
So that is it. When he was coming out of the plane. Now, people who saw, for them to know that social media is a very powerful tool, that they don't have an idea what they are dealing with and the generation they are dealing with. So as they were taking him away, because he's known, everyone knows his face, people are campaigning for his release. So some other people followed them on the street to tell the world that Eromosele has been returned back to Lagos and is going to be probably arraigned the following day. That was yesterday. This was 2 days ago when they brought him back to Lagos. So yesterday, they took him to court. When they got to court, the judge that he spoke to said he was not going to attend to the case. He had to adjourn it to today because he doesn't want any media in the courtroom. Okay, fine. But we got him. People followed the car that brought him to Lagos.
Sunday, 15th of November. The cars you can see in front with the police have a rooms in it, in the white one and this black one as well. I don't know where they're taking it, but that's the car right there.
So people follow them. So with that, they realized that people are tracking the move and all that. So because of that, yesterday in court, the judge said he was not going to attend to the case. So he had to be remanded again in police custody. And today, you will think it's war. You will think they are trying to try. I mean, it was a shakao that they are about to try. That the government, the DSS in Nigeria, without any court charges or anything, no order, no nothing. No one knows what they are investigating him for until they said he participated in NSAS. Now, you will think it was shakao
that they are about to try in Nigeria court today, when the court finally convened, and the Eromosele was eventually brought to court. But just look at this atmosphere today in court in Yaba, before the judge finally granted him a 1 million naira bail. But watch this.
I don't know. I'm coming to pick up. People need to go inside. People need to go inside. And police are not saying you are mad. Don't tell me that. My bag is not safe. You cannot intimidate our country. Don't touch us. Democracy, we are not military time. Don't touch us. Your goals are to protect us. Your goals are to protect us. Not to be killing us. Don't touch us. Who the killer now? Hey, calm down. You cannot even kill her. Calm down. You can't kill her. Please calm down. We are talking to them now. The main issue is we want to enter inside the court. Very simple. That's all. These are very simple. Not problem. Yes, I do. How are you? Me, Clara. Me and her. Yes. Yes. My whole family members.
Calm down, just explain.
My whole family. I even created a scene with the security man there, so it's easy to identify me. I'm really curious right now.
Exactly. So calm down.
Calm down. I said I even created a scene with the security guy. So if you point me, yes, because he wanted to search my bag to know if I was a media person. So it's easy to identify me. Yes, my daddy is there, my mom is there, my family members are there. He does not know my name now. He has to be here.
Sir, please, so what about other Nigerians want to
No, calm down.
No, that's what they are saying. No, it's not. No,
They don't want too much crowd there. I think that's what they are.
It's very clear what is happening right now. Tempers are being flared and a lot of confusion as to gaining access into that courtroom right behind me there. But that Hilux van or car that is parked right there is where Peter Eromosele is. He's being held in the car right now until when the court session starts. So the grievance at the moment is that why doesn't the security apparatus here, why don't they allow the members of the family to get into the courtroom? We understand that that will be resolved very quickly, so that upheaval you just saw moments ago will be doused now. Gimbo Umar, Channel.
That was the court. And you will think they were trying, they are not actually trying a protester, they are trying Shekau. Shekau came out today and said, when they said they've declared him wanted, when Buhari the Butcher said he declared him wanted, Shekau came out and said, nobody can arrest him. He's doing the work of God. You know what I mean? This is the same guy they have killed many times. But let me show you a more, Eroms in court. because we finally managed to get someone who was able to get in and send a shout out. So this is what his message was.
Yeah, so it's part of it, you know. We're in a lawless country, and the goal is to make sure there's law. And some people would have to be the scapegoats, apparently, whether you're innocent or not. So that's the reason everyone says
not
have
a
to
scapegoat.
fight. Yeah, that's the reason everyone says have to fight. So when too many people know what is right, it is hard for them to get scapegoats. Yeah, so this is one of it. Thank you for fighting for me. I have no idea what's going on, but I've seen a couple of newspapers, and I appreciate from the bottom of my heart. So something generation, not the forehand at all. Yeah, so far so good. We're strong. We're keeping faith. You guys should keep pushing, keep applying that pressure. They're feeling that pressure. You have no idea. They are feeling it. It's in their body. That's how I was transferred from Lagos to Abuja back to Lagos. They're feeling the pressure. Just keep applying the pressure.
Yes, I like that. And that is where I'm going to draw the curtains tonight. To all of you who managed to tune in tonight, thank you very much for your time. And again, to those who've managed to share the broadcast and invite their friends to be part of this tonight, thank you. And to my big brother there, Babatunde, with your super sticker, your super chat, and to all of you, I'm going to say good evening or good night. Thank you.
Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Bọ́ba bá gbé wúrẹ́. Àní ẹ̀sùn ra jù. Ijó ìgbádùn yẹ. Àní ẹ̀sùn ra jù. Pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o. Àní ẹ̀sùn ra jù. Kí gómìnà kówó jẹ. Àní ẹ̀sùn ra jù. Ọlọ́pàá tí ń gbà rìbá. Àní ẹ̀sùn ra jù. Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o. Àní ẹ̀sùn ra jù. Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú. Àní ẹ̀sùn ra jù. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ra kì. Àní ẹ̀sùn ra kì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ra kì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ra kì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o, Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀, Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ra kì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran. Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o, ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.
Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n ní ràn.
tẹnitẹni ọmọ Maiyegun ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́run sọ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù bọ́tà ń lé ibo níṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. èèpo ọ̀bọ̀lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ó ti jọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ fòyà àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá ó kó ẹni tó bá dán wò á kàmù. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì o. ẹ̀yin bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní bí wọ́n níran o.
Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì.